Want to speak real English from your first lesson? Sign up for your free lifetime account at EnglishClass101.com.
Hi everybody, welcome back to Ask Alisha, the weekly series where you ask me questions and I answer them. Maybe. First question this week comes from Muhammad Al-Daily. Hi Muhammad. Muhammad says, Hi Alisha. When writing in any academic exam, like some kind of criticism or literary analysis, is it better to use I or we, like if the speaker wanted to talk about his opinion? Okay. If you're writing about your personal opinion, your individual opinion, use I. If you are writing to represent a group of people, like a company or a laboratory or a research group or a team of some kind, use we. So if it's your opinion, use I, like I disagree with or I strongly believe that. If you're writing for a company, like you might see in company emails, for example, you can use we, like we appreciate your continued business, or we deeply apologize for the misunderstanding. So use we if you're representing a group, use I if you're talking about your personal opinion. I hope that this helps you. Thanks for the question. Okay, let's move on to your next question. Next question comes from Noor Al-Din. Hi, Noor. Noor says, Hi, Alisha. I have a question. What is the difference between specifically and especially? Nice question. Okay, first, let's look at two example sentences. Number one, I love music, especially jazz. 2, I'm a singer, specifically a jazz singer. Okay, so in the first sentence, which uses especially, we see a category introduced, music. The speaker says, I love music. Then, when they say especially, it's like they're highlighting, they're focusing in on this one kind of music they really, really like. So the speaker's saying, I love music generally, and inside this category, there's one thing that's extra special to me. I use especially, or we use especially, to communicate that highlight there. So the other things are great also, but especially means I have kind of a special place for that thing. In contrast then, part 2, we have this opening sentence, I'm a singer. Then, specifically, I'm a jazz singer. So we can think of this again as like a category. So I'm a singer. A singer is the job here. Specifically, I'm a jazz singer. So this means the other types of singers do not apply. So this person is not a pop singer, not a rock singer, not a blues singer, a jazz singer. So in contrast with the especially point, which is like everything is okay and there's this one thing that's extra great, the jazz singer here is saying, I'm a jazz singer only. So all these other things don't apply to me. I'm a jazz singer. We use specifically to narrow something down even more. So we have this broad category, it gets even more narrow, like we have a very clear understanding of exactly what type of singer the speaker is. So if you want to show a highlight in something, like I love desserts, especially gelato. So you can use it to talk about those sorts of categories and something special inside that category. That's what especially is for. Specifically is used to make a very narrow distinction. So I hope that this helps you. Thanks very much for an interesting question. Okay, let's move on to your next question. Next question comes from Mustafa Jawad. Hi, Mustafa. Mustafa says, Hi, Alisha. My question is, what's correct? He and me are going to school, or he and I are going to school? The correct answer is he and I are going to school. So a rule that you can follow is if you're using this person and I or person and me structure, when you're using it as the subject of a sentence, use the and I pattern, like he and I are going to school. She and I are best friends. He and I left early. When you're using it as the object of a sentence, however, use the and me pattern, so person and me. Like, my parents bought my brother and me presents. The manager told my colleague and me that he was quitting. So in sum, if you're using this as the subject, use the and I pattern. If you're using it as the object, use the and me pattern. In your original sentence, and I is correct. I hope that this helps you. Thanks for the question. Okay, let's move on to your next question. Next question is from Saurav. Hi, Saurav. Saurav says, Hi, Alisha. I'm from India. I want to know the difference between will and would. Okay, quickly, will is used to make a decision in the moment of speaking. A great example is when you're at a restaurant and you look at the menu and you think, okay, I'll have a salad or I'll have a beer. So we use will a lot to talk about like decisions we make in the moment. We also use will to talk about things we're not sure about for the future, like when you make a guess about something far in the future. Like in 1,000 years, I think humans will all be gone. Or next week, I think I'll see a movie. So you're not so sure about your plans. You can use will to talk about that. Then, would is used to talk about unreal situations. A great example is like, if I were you, I would do something. Like, if I were you, I would find a new job. Or if I were you, I would get a hobby. So, would expresses an unreal situation. We use it a lot in something like advice. So, would is unreal. And will is used to kind of make a guess about something. We don't use will for like advice. We use would to give sort of these ideas about like suggestions, recommendations, you're sharing some kind of information. Will is more like you're talking about maybe a decision that you might make or maybe a guess that you have. So these are a few differences between will and would. For a couple more points, you can check out the will and going to video on our channel for some more information about will. And you can also take a look at this video about would that's on the channel too. So I hope that this helps you. Thanks very much for the question. All right, let's look at our next question. Next question comes from Iqbal Preet Kaur. Hi, Iqbal Preet. Iqbal Preet says, hi, Alisha. I want to know how to use the word apparently in conversation. Okay, we typically use the word apparently at the beginning or at the end of a sentence. It has the meaning of it seems. For example, apparently I left my laundry outside in the rain. Or, we have to go to a company meeting today, apparently. So this means the speaker did not get this information directly. The speaker learned it from some other source. So it's often like a surprise. You're like, it seems something is happening, or it seems I did this. So if the speaker does not use apparently, it's like a report, you know. I left my laundry outside in the rain. But using apparently means someone else told you that information, or maybe you found out about it somehow. So it sounds kind of a little bit sarcastic in some situations, or it's like you learned it somehow and you're kind of surprised about it. So this is how we use apparently in situations. Think of it as like it seems, but for a whole situation. Like it seems I left my laundry outside, or it seems I'm at the end of this episode. So this is how we use apparently in everyday conversation. So that is everything that I have for this week. Thank you, as always, for sending your questions. Remember, you can send them to me at englishclass101.com/ask-Alisha. Of course, if you liked this lesson, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up, subscribe to our channel if you have not already, and check us out at englishclass101.com for some other things that can help you with your English studies. Thanks very much for watching this week's episode of Ask Alisha, and I will see you again next week. Bye-bye. Want to speed up your language learning? Take your very first lesson with us. You'll start speaking in minutes and master real conversations. Sign up for your free lifetime account. Just click the link in the description.